Diogo Dallo. He pulls the ball and then run.
Effort might just backfire. It's a good hit from Juranovic, but it's not on target. But now it's Jerome Lucio, former Wolfsburg player, to make it 3-1. He must score. Oh, he hasn't. They've...
Elba, now the fourth. Sir.
Oh, he hasn't. They've somehow kept him out.
He's going to come forward, just taking the space around Ladero Suarez. Elba, now the fourth. Sterling, off the bar, and Messi!
Welcome to another episode of Jabsports on Jab Media TV. My name is Shoelace. You can call me Amin. Alright, so on today's episode, we're going to discuss a Sharaf Mahama influence in our sports, precisely boxing in a negative or positive way. So last weekend, some of the top boxers you can find, like Khan and then Anthony Joshua, were in Accra to witness a boxing fight at the Bokum Boxing Arena. And this has sparked a lot of political debates. And I keep on saying here on Jab Media that sports goes with politics. There is no way you can remove sports from politics. And that's the reason why you realize that politicians have a lot of influence in sports decisions across the world. And then, as you can see, since we know Sharaf has been advocating for boxing or sports into brackets. But then people are using this for politics. People feel like he's trying to be a little bit political biased. So have a discussion about that. FIFA Club World Cup updates. So the FIFA Club World Cup is in its knockout stages. So we'll give you the fixtures for the next stage of the FIFA Club World Cup, the teams that qualify and the teams that are going home. And then we'll do a little bit on transfer news updates. Remember, Manchester United has submitted a new bid for Brian Mbeumo. So we'll discuss about that. Before we start today's show, today's episode was brought to you by EF Metalworks, which is located at Amasaman. Just go on Facebook and just contact Mr. Frimpong. EF Metalworks does everything that has to do with metalworks, whether it's burglar proof, whether anything. I mean, anything that involves metals, gates, whatever. They're going to do it for you. You can also Nurturing Your American Dreams. Nurturing the American Dream. It's a book written by Frank A.J. Mensah. This book talks about how you can gain success in Ghana without you necessarily traveling abroad. So just contact us on our social media platforms and then we'll grab you a copy of Nurturing the American Dream. Dell Cosmetics and Jewelries, your one-step shop for high-quality cosmetics. Explore a range of foundation, eyeshadow, lipstick, and more from our top brands. Stunning jewelries, unbeatable prices, expert advice, special offers, 10% off first purchase. Use Jab Media at checkout. So just go on social media, especially go on Instagram and just type Dell Cosmetics and then contact them for anything that has to do with jewelries and cosmetics. All right, so back to today's episode. Before I also begin, I would like you guys to subscribe to our YouTube page at Jab Media TV, on Facebook at Jab Media TV, on Instagram at Jab Media TV, on TikTok at Jab Media TV. You can also follow me on Instagram at i.amamin, on Snapchat at Mr. Amin, on Twitter at Mr. Amin, and then on Facebook also at Mr. Amin. And let's get interactive. All right, sure. So let's go to today's episode. Is Sharaf Mahama influencing our sports, precisely boxing, in a negative or positive way? So this is going to be my key analysis for today. Even though we are going to have subsequent ones, but this is the key analysis for today. I've always said that. I've always said several times that, yeah, of course, politics is part of sports, but there are times when we don't have to engage politics into sports. Or there are times when the sort of politics we do in sports shouldn't be like our typical politics that we do in Ghana. And anytime I talk, you have people attacking me. People come on my Facebook, people attack me. I have friends who be like, what the fuck are you saying? What the hell are you saying? Sorry. A lot of people be saying different sort of things. I keep on saying this. Politics, the kind of politics we are doing in Ghana is so disgusting to the extent that politics, religion, tribalism. You see these three things. is the reason why this country is absolutely degrading day in, day out. And it's the reason why young people will finish school and then there are no jobs. It's the reason why I'll sit on Jab Media Studios and then I'll talk and talk and talk and talk. And you have certain people who come under comment section and come and be like, whatever you're saying is rubbish. Or then again, you might even talk, you will post a video on YouTube and we even get more than 20 views. Why? Because it's not as if people are not actually interested in whatever content you are putting on. The thing about Ghana is that somebody no chop with your horn, you know chop. Do you expect him to come and sit down there and watching a content that doesn't actually provide him with anything? Most of these content creators you see out there are mostly creators that have been able to establish their fandom. Their fanatics, their fandoms. When no matter what they put out there, it will still trend. And now how many times has it even trend? How many times has it trend? But the thing is that they already have their numbers. So it's easy for them to be able to, keep on making money. So we are in a country where politics has become the front-seated debate of everything we do in this country. The country is not going forward. You can sit down, you can wake up in the morning and be taking breakfast and be watching a morning show. And then the morning show you watch, one thing you are going to realize about that morning show is that our media houses, our so-called world-class journalists, will sit here and invite two people, a communicator from NDC and a communicator from MPP, and then they are debating. Ask yourself, what important things are they going to debate about? So they are going to debate, right? Okay, cool. And you ask yourself, what is the debate going to bring to us? Is it going to bring us development or not? And that's the reason why I say anybody who does a debate that maybe NDC is better than MPP or MPP is better than NDC, I see the person to be, into quotes, a fool. A very, very foolish person, because ask yourself that when it comes to our basic needs, has those two parties been able to what? Solve our basic needs? No. We are still struggling for electricity. So struggling. I tell you, today I was sleeping around 1 a.m. I opened my eye and I have no lights. So have they been able to solve our basic needs? It's a big no. So why are we still fighting over politicians or so trying to do dirty politics? To the extent that the one thing that brings us together, sports, has been actually being used for politics. Religion has divided us to the extent that if you're a Muslim and want to get married to a Christian, in the Quran, God says that, Allah says that a Muslim can marry a Christian or a Jewish. It's the same thing with Christianity. But then again, if you're a Muslim and want to marry a Christian, your family will not allow you to marry. Why? Because of our own perceptions that we've grown up with. The perceptions that has happened from generations to generations. So we realize that this generation has passed some certain perception to this generation. And then this generation, and it keeps on going from decades to decades to decades. And now in our decade, that same perception has been passed to us. And thank God for the white man who has brought us technology. So it is making some of us, just a few of us, so just about 10% of the population are thinking a bit wiser now. And then there comes tribalism, where the Ewes don't even like their accounts. The Ewes don't like their Ashantis. The Ewes don't like their Ashantis. Where a Northerner, I wouldn't even say a Northerner, because Northerners have a lot of tribal groups. So let me take, for example, the Kosases don't even like the Busanges, don't like the Busanges. Or they don't like the Mampusi. Or the Gonja and the Dagumapo don't like Kotokoli and Chembapo because of a tribalistic perception that they like medicine. What are we doing? What are we doing to ourselves? That politics has become our everyday life, that somebody who has a degree, somebody who has a diploma, somebody who has been to senior high school and is written his WASI, who has the ideas, is thinking foolishly because of politics, because of somebody's father who is into politics. And you keep on asking yourself, so where are we going as a country? That the only one thing that brings us together is sports. And then sports is of, with mental sports with politics, that we are not moving forward. So where are we going as a country? We have credible journalists. I can mention a lot of them. Gary R. Smith, a lot of them. I mean, credible journalists, both. I wouldn't even say sports journalists. I mean, you have credible journalists out there who have been influenced by politics. And you see, one dirty thing about politics is that politics keeps you very poor. It makes you very poor, to the extent that you will always need a politician to survive. And immediately that idea starts to affect your own, thinking, then there is a problem. There is a very, very, very big problem. And you see, thinking, religion and politics limits your thinking capabilities. It limits how far your brain can go to. And that is a problem. That is a very big problem. Back to, I'm trying to open the whole floor so that when I start hitting the point, you get to understand what I mean by all these things that I'm saying. Now, we're all in Ghana when Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's daughter, I think Jankama Akufo-Addo, started to invest in our entertainment, hospitality, entertainment, and then tourism, by building what we started building restaurants. Remember, in the hospitality and the tourism industry, it's the same Ghanaians that are going to work in this industry. Irrespective of whether you're a Dagomba, or you're an Ashanti, or you're a Fante, or you're a Ahanta, or you're a Gan, or you're a Ewe, or you're a Kotokoli, or Chamba, or Wala, we are all Ghanaians. And different ethnic groups with different beliefs and different religion are the ones going to work at this hospitality or tourism industries. She employed artists. Art. People who are into creative art to try and make Ghana beautiful, to try and make Accra beautiful. And what do you do as a country? We send everything into politics. Somebody who has employed us to work. At the same time, this same woman, this same girl is beautifying our country. We turned this issue into into politics. And then after turning it into politics, are you also sitting down and expecting you yourself as an NDC person that made that into politics? Do you expect that when your party comes into power, the MPP party will also not turn other things into politics? And that's exactly what's happening today. And this time around, it's not entertainment, but then it is sports. I love Sharaf Mahama. I love what he's doing, because we can't only focus on football when even that we are not even doing it well. We are focusing on football. We call ourselves a football nation. Kate will tell you, bring back the laugh. But then again, the focus is on football, but we are not even focusing on football. We are not doing that. We are not doing it well. That's what I want you to understand. We are not doing it well. We are focusing on it, but we are not doing it well. Why aren't we doing it well? Because you've not gotten the right people who have the ideas to elevate our football to the next level. And that is why we are struggling as a country. That those guys we are calling the football guys are rather spending our money lavishly on useless stuffs. And then we call ourselves a football country. So if as a young guy like me, I'm a young guy like me when I'll be 25 in August, and then I've seen my fellow young guy like Sharaf, who wants to invest in sports, boxing, preferably boxing. Of course, I'm going to give him the support because he started not today. But you see, the problem with all this thing is that if you are already putting things into political perspective, then whatever you do will also be put into a political perspective. And that is exactly what you are facing today. And whatever happened last week has been put into politics. And people are like, Charlie, where did Sharaf get the money from? Of course, Sharaf is young. When did he start working? You get me? When did he start working? He might have, as far as we know, he might have gone somewhere and go and look for sponsorships. He might have gone somewhere to look for funds, to actually look for funds. But then we wouldn't look at that perspective because some years back, we also used that as politics. We used entertainment as politics some years back. And that is the reason why today, whatever Sharaf is doing today has been turned into what? Into politics. Because we are actually using other people's perspectives as politics. So why are we doing this to ourselves? I mean, yeah, you can ask yourself. I won't lie to you. As a journalist, I'm supposed to ask questions. So it's like looking for solutions. I'm supposed to ask questions. I'm supposed to dig for solutions. In-depth journalism. My lecturer told me that in-depth journalism, go out there and go and look for the questions. Why is it like this? Investigative journalism. That is our job as journalists. So if Sharaf, a young guy like Sharaf, is doing something like this to the extent that he has been able to bring Anthony Joshua from abroad to Ghana, I'm actually going to what? I'm going to ask myself question, where did he get the money from to be able to bring such a world-class boxer from the UK to Ghana? Of course, I'm going to do that. But then, my perspectives or my question wouldn't be biased because I'm not involving politics into it. I'm rather asking solidified questions. But here lies the case, right? People are actually people's questions are based on what? Politics. Because of what the previous administration did. And that everything this guy is doing, even though whatever people are doing has been turned into politics, is what exactly is going on. And that is the reason why today, whatever this guy is doing is not rather sports. As I said, sports is supposed to bring us together. So whatever he's doing to our boxing is supposed to bring all of us together, but it's rather dividing us. It's because of what? The word politics, which has made all of us turn into dogs. We are rather licking the asses of our political elites. And they don't care. And you see, what Sharaf is doing is a major avenue for what? It's a major avenue to steal money. People can use that as a major way to steal money. Because you are not even open to supporting the guy and asking the right questions. And the right question, where did he get the money from? How was he able to bring Anthony Joshua? And the other guy, how was he able to sponsor such a major event? Remember, you're going to pay for their hotel. The two guys that came, you're going to pay for their hotel, their feeding, their transportation. You're definitely also going to pay them for coming. Where did he get that money from? That money is not coming from his pocket. But what if he has sought sponsorship? And maybe the sponsorship was given to him maybe because he has already been doing it before his father came to power. Or maybe because his father is the president, so they were giving that school. That one doesn't care. We don't care about that. As long as he was being sponsored to try and elevate some of our boxers, it's a genuine advantage to all of us and credit to him. But people are not going to credit to him because of what? Because of the reason why we are using everything for politics. And then instead of them to ask questions in that perspective, the perspective will rather be changed because the previous party was also doing the same thing. And today, people don't even appreciate what he did. People are not appreciating what he's doing for boxing. Because of what? Because of what Ghanaians like doing, involving dirty politics into our daily activities and our daily lives. Why do we keep doing this to ourselves? Why do you keep doing this to ourselves? Like, why are we hurting ourselves? So when I'm somewhere and people are like, the white people are the reason why Africa is not developing, you are lying. You are big. In fact, you are lying. They lie. You are lying. See, the white men have been, the white man, the British, the Americans, the Italians, the whatever, the Belgians, like all of them have their own. They have what they have done. But from 1957 to today, 2025, the reason why Ghana is not developing to the standard that we all want Ghana to develop, whether in terms of sports, education, finance, whatever, any aspect of the economy, is because of I and you. We are greedy, we are arrogant, we are selfish, we are wicked, and we are heartless. It's the reason why today all of us are not going forward. And these 5 things I've mentioned is because of politics, it's because of the influence of dirty politics, the influence of religion that we don't understand, or have not been able to understand to a certain level, and because of tribalism. Because of these 3 things is the reason why today we are wicked, we are selfish, we are arrogant, we don't want anybody to go up. It's the reason why today we are in this situation. As long as we have people like me coming out to drag the Ghana Football Association, to drag the Ministry of Sports, to drag NGOs, because our football is not going forward. And then we'll have people who will come and tell me that you are wasting your time, or people will come and defend these leaders. Then we'll keep on suffering. Like example, using a morning show. Morning shows are supposed to what? Address issues. Address the issue and bring experts to come and experts to try and come and tell us how we can fight those issues. But the media doesn't do that. The media will bring someone from NDC and will bring someone from MPP, 2 communicators to come and argue. And do you think NDC, the NDC communicator will say bad things against his party? Or do you think the MPP communicator will also say bad things against his party? Never. They will come and throw dust into our eyes. And the media will never correct that bullshit that has been put into our eyes, that pepper that has been thrown into our eyes, that dust that has been thrown into our dust. The media will never correct that. The media will never do that. Because kakra wajinti, the solid our jinti, you know, come and say it. Kakra waji one side, waji by 1,000 cedi, 2,000 cedi one side. Amato car mano, then buy car give up. So you know we can't tell you the truth. And you, as sports journalists or as journalists, it's our duty to make sure that we bring everyone accountable for all the bad things they are doing in the country. It's our jobs to open the eyes of Ghanaians. It's our job to say the truth. It's our job to be credible. But as now, there is no journalist out there that can point to the fact that this journalist is credible, because they are all selfish. They are all biased. And journalists can be biased. But when it comes to solving issues, that biasness should leave. And that is why we have PhD. PhD or doctors are meant to solve issues. But you have somebody called Dr. This. Now it's just like a title. We are using it to enjoy ourselves. Dr. Deben PhD. Dr. Deben PhD. Dr. Deben PhD. We are just using it as like a way to what? To have fun. Ceremonial title. But are not solving issues. Somebody will sit down and write a lot of theses. But as long as when he's done with the thesis and he publishes the thesis, and that is it. We don't solve any issues. And that is why everything has become politics. Everything in this country has become politics. Me, as keep on saying, I will always stick by the truth. No matter how it hurts people, I will stick by the truth. I'm a Muslim myself. But then if at a point in time, Muslims are not doing the right things, I will say it. Why not? Why shouldn't I say it? Can anybody tell me why shouldn't I say it? I'm going to say it because we are rather hurting ourselves and hurting our generations. And that is why today, Sharaf Mahama, who is advocating for boxing in the country, is being dragged left and right because both set of people are using everything for politics. If today, Ghanaians had supported Jankroma Akufo-Addo, and she had done a lot of things, tourism, hospitality, entertainment, I swear to you that everybody too would have supported Sharaf Mahama in the boxing that he did. But because it didn't happen like that, the other side will definitely question him. That's why you are hearing questions like, where did he get the money from? By this time, Mama goes to funds, Ghanaian taxpayers, where you carry. And Charlie, let's be honest with you, what they are asking is a genuine question. Whatever question they are asking is genuine. They are right to ask it. They are right to ask him where he got the funds from. Why? Because we all know he doesn't have that money. So it's right for the media, or it's right for a certain part of Ghanaians to ask that question. But what I want Ghanaians to understand is that if we don't politicize every issue in this country, nobody will come and ask that question. Everybody will put a blunted eye on that. Because whether he stole the money or not, he's using that money to what? To promote our boxing. He's using it to promote the Ghana Boxing Authority, GBA. But then is he to play politics for political points, which he himself, he shall have Mahama, his own dad, his own ministers, the people around him also use that as politics to be able to bring his dad back to power. Those other people also do the same thing. So it's like it's just like you spitting on someone and the person also spitting on you back. It's the same thing. You inject, I inject you. To the point of all this argument and all this shouting is that it's high time we stop politicizing our issues and then come together as a country to be able to promote our sports well. People are ready to promote our sports. I'm doing a thesis, a school project on. So I'm doing a school project on finding out why. So there's a perception out there, especially from the Ghana Football Association, that the Ghanaian media, we the media, are about mounting the league. Okay, we are about mounting the Ghana Premier League, and that's the reason why corporations are not sponsoring our league. And I'm going to do a thesis on why this is happening, whether it's true or not. And after I'm done with my thesis, I'll come and sit at Jab Media Studios and I'll give you my findings. It's a school project I'm doing, a final year project I'm doing. And this project, and that is my topic. And when I'm done with everything, I'll come and sit down here and give you my findings on that. And if it's true, that is when you get to realize, sorry to see how stupid some of our media houses are. And how irresponsible some of our journalists are behaving in this country. And the reason why we the media are driven, are setting the agenda on politicizing issues in this country. FIFA Club World Cup update. So remember, the group stages of the FIFA Club World Cup has been completed, and some have qualified to the round of 16, and others are also sent back home. So let me go through each of the group stages and identify the teams that are through to the round of 16 of the FIFA Club World Cup. Alright, so Group A, Palmeiras from Brazil and then Inter Miami are through to the next stage of the competition, whilst FC Porto and Al Ahly have been kicked out. I'm very, very surprised. I was very, in my mind, I predicted that Palmeiras and FC Porto will go through. The fact that Inter Miami are through is a huge statement on how far American football is going. And kudos to Inter Miami. They've absolutely done a very good job. So Inter Miami and Palmeiras are through to the next stage of the competition. In Group B, Paris Saint-Germain and Botafogo are through to the next stage of the competition. Atletico Madrid and Seattle Sounders are out. I'm very surprised Atletico has gone out. But remember, PSG has 6 points, Botafogo has 6 points, and Atletico Madrid also has 6 points. So it shows how strong and competitive that group was. Seattle Sounders went out with 0 points. Very disgraceful. But then again, I'm surprised Atletico is out. I was expecting them to qualify ahead of Botafogo. But congratulations to Botafogo. I mean, Brazilian league is a very, very competitive league. In Group C, Bayern Munich and Benfica are through. So Boca Juniors and Atlanta City were kicked out. And no surprising, I knew that was what was going to happen. In Group D, Flamengo and Chelsea were okay. So for now, Flamengo and Chelsea. Flamengo and Chelsea have one match in hand. So they play two matches. So for now, Flamengo and Chelsea are in the driving seat of getting to the next stage of the competition, but they have one match to play. Esperance de Tunis is third, and then Los Angeles FC is last. Back to Bayern. Bayern is already through, but have a game in hand. Benfica is also through, but has a game in hand. Boca Juniors and Auckland City will both have 1 and 0 points. So, but they do have a game in hand over there. In Group E, River Plate has 4 points, Inter Milan has 4 points, Monterrey has 2 points, and Urawa Reds also has 0 points. They all have a game in hand. Then Fluminense also has 4 points, Borussia Dortmund has 4 points, Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa has 3 points, and Ulsan HD 0 points. They all have a game in hand. In Group J, Juventus has 6 points, Manchester City has 6 points, Wydad Casablanca from Morocco has 0 points, and then Al Ain has 0 points. And then in Group H, Real Madrid has 4 points, Salzburg has 4 points, Al Hilal has 2 points, and Pachuca has 0 points. They all have a game in hand. So apart from Group A and Group B, Group C, Group D, Group E, Group F, Group J, and Group H all have a game in hand. And then this is going to be the fixtures. So today's fixtures, we have Benfica versus Bayern Munich, we have Auckland City versus Boca Juniors, and tomorrow we have Esperance Tunis versus Chelsea, we have Los Angeles FC versus Flamengo, we have Mamelodi Sundowns versus Fluminense, we have Dortmund versus Ulsan HD, and then to in we have Inter versus River Plate, we have Urawa Reds versus Monterrey, Juventus versus Manchester City, and then Wydad Casablanca versus Al Ain. And then on 27th, we have Salzburg versus Real Madrid, and we have Al Hilal versus Pachuca. And then today's matches, 2 matches have already been played. FC Porto 4, Al Ahly 4, and then Inter Miami 2, Palmeiras 2. So that was the early morning results for today. So keep an eye on the FIFA Club World Cup. So far, the top scorers is Michael Olise with 3 goals. We have Aboud Ali who from Al Ahly who also has 3 goals. We have Angel Di Maria also with 3 goals. We have Jamal Musiala also with 3 goals. We have Yildiz also with 3 goals. We have Kingsley Coman with 3 goals. And then we also have Kulumwani also with 2 goals. So keep an eye on the top scorers list. Right. So far so good in the FIFA Club World Cup. We will keep on giving you updates on how it's going to go as we are getting closer to the round of 16 of the FIFA Club World Cup. Now we go straight to most importantly is the transfer news. Now, as I said, all our transfer news are picked from Fabrizio Romano. We all know Fabrizio is one, and if not the best in terms of transfers. So this is where we are getting our sources. He's our source. That's where we're getting the news from. All right. So first of all, I understand that Napoli and Liverpool will have direct contacts today to discuss conditions of Darwin Núñez. Now, negotiations still at early stages, but Napoli had green light from Núñez, as revealed in the recent days, and the deal depends on financial requests. All right, so as the Liverpool wants to get rid of Darwin Núñez this summer, and currently Napoli is the team that is interested in signing Darwin Núñez. So we'll still keep an eye on that deal because they're still negotiating on the deal, and then again, the deal depends exactly on how much Liverpool is going to request for Darwin from Napoli. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then again, we'll also go straight to Bradley Barcola. So Bradley Barcola is a winger for Paris Saint-Germain, and then Bayern Munich and then other Premier League clubs want to sign Barcola. But PSG has announced that Bakula is untouchable and that he's going to sign a new deal later this year. So also keep an eye on that deal. The next one is Milos Kerkez. Now, Milos Kerkez can be considered as a new Liverpool player as he has completed his medical and he has signed his deal. The left back is joining Liverpool from Bournemouth on a £40 million deal. Here we go, confirmed, and we are all waiting for the official statement from Liverpool. So as you can see, Milos Kerkez is the new Liverpool left back. Remember, there is a lot of news coming out from various media outlets that Robertson might leave Liverpool to Atletico Madrid. So I can see Kerkez being Robertson's replacement. So also keep an eye on that Robertson deal. Another deal we also need to keep up is FC Barcelona. So for now, Marcus Rashford, from various sources, Marcus Rashford so wants to join FC Barcelona. His dream is to play at the Estadio or the Spotify Camp Nou, and then he wants to play with the likes of Lamine Yamal. As I speak to you right now, Rashford is in Spain where he's having his personal preseason training. He did a podcast with some 2 Spanish guys, and then he was saying Lamine Yamal is one of the guys he would love to play with before he retires. But the thing too is that FC Barcelona is still interested in signing Nico Williams, and that is what is going to complicate the Rashford deal. But then again, Atletico Bilbao wants Barcelona to match Nico Williams' release clause, which Barcelona are not interested in doing that. Barcelona they actually want to have that conversation to be able to at least reduce the price a bit. And then again, FC Bayern Munich are absolutely interested in Nico Williams and they want to hijack that deal. Bayern is ready to pay the release clause. So if in case Bayern are able to sign Nico Williams, then there's a high possibility that Barcelona might sign Rashford instead. But then again, Nico Williams wants to play for Barcelona. He wants to play with Lamine Yamal, the likes of Rafinha and Dani Olmo. He wants to play with these guys. So the deal is a bit complicated at the moment, but we'll keep an eye on that deal. But for now, Williams has 2 deals behind him, Barcelona and Bayern Munich. Who is he going for? We'll keep an eye on that. And this deal is going to determine the future for Marcus Rashford. Now we go straight to Victor Gyökeres, who is the striker for Sporting Club Portugal, or where we all call it Sporting Lisbon. Now Sporting Lisbon's president Varandes has said that he doesn't want to sell Victor Gyökeres, and even if that sell Victor Gyökeres, every team has to match his release clause. Now Victor Gyökeres has informed the president Varandes that he wants to leave Sporting Lisbon this season. He wants to go. He has no intention of playing for the club any longer. Now, initially, Manchester United were interested in signing Victor Gyökeres, but Victor has said his main priority is Arsenal. He wants to join Arsenal. Arsenal are interested, but Arsenal do not want to pay that release clause. So it's a huge news coming from Portugal. So I'm still going to keep an eye on this deal for the Swedish international Victor Gyökeres, and we'll see how that deal unfolds. But if Arsenal are able to sign Victor Gyökeres, it's going to be a huge statement to all Premier League clubs, because Gyökeres is a top-class striker, and Arsenal needs a top-class striker who can bank in the goals. If you look at City have it in Haaland. Liverpool have it in Mohamed Salah. Arsenal needs that striker, that focal point, that guy that can stand and bank in goals, and Victor is the right guy. I mean, yes, Alexander Isak can't do that job, but Victor Gyökeres I think he's on the same level as Alexander Isak and can bang in those goals. So we'll keep an eye on that deal. Will Gyökeres leave Sporting Lisbon this season? We'll give you more updates on that. The next up is Bryan Mbeumo. Manchester United have submitted another deal for Bryan Mbeumo. £60 million deal for Bryan Mbeumo. It's actually been submitted to Brentford. Now remember, Manchester United have already decided personal terms with Brian Mbeumo. Mbeumo wants to join only Manchester United this season, and the personal terms is around £150,000 a week. That is what I'm hearing from various sources, that it will cost about £150,000 a week. But then Brentford has to accept it. I think if Brentford doesn't accept the 60,000, I don't think United will go on with the deal. So we'll still keep an eye on that. Manchester United have submitted a new proposal for Brian Mbeumo, which remains priority target. The proposal was sent over the weekend in an excess for £60 million. Discussions continue with Brentford with our transfer news. But before I go, I also want you to know that definitely we'll create a show for only transfers. You see, it's early. The transfer is early. You have a lot of months to go, and that is why I and my team haven't sat down to create any show that will discuss only transfer news. So when the transfer window becomes more heated, we'll create a program or a show where we'll discuss about only the transfer news. So we want you guys to anticipate. 2 days ago, someone asked me that a friend asked me about our podcast I once announced. Remember, we'll still do the podcast. You know, you have a lot of things to put together, and it's not going to be only a sports podcast. It's also going to be an entertainment podcast too. So I'll give you more information about that when we get to that time. I'll give. But we haven't forgotten. Definitely, we'll do it. You know, it's about finances and other things. Finances, internet, a lot of things. So when the time comes, I'll give you more information about that. All right. So thank you again for once again. Thank you again for watching today's show. I would also like to acknowledge my sponsors, EF Metalwork. This is located at Amazon. Anything that has to do with metal, just go on Facebook and just search for EF Metalwork, and then you contact them. Dell Cosmetics, anything that has to do with cosmetics and jewelries, just contact them, and then contact them on Instagram at Dell Cosmetics, and then have that conversation. Remember, if it's your first time purchase, then at the checkout, just use the code JABMedia, and then you get a 10% off. And then nurturing the American dream. Remember, you don't necessarily need to travel abroad in order to gain success. You can do that right here in Ghana. A book written by Frank A.J. Mensah. This book gives you the insights of how to be able to establish your own business right here in Ghana, and then be able to employ others in order for employment to boom and then unemployment to reduce in the country. All right, so BEC pens down splash, which is going to happen at the Lakeside Marina Park on the 4th of July 2025. The rate is 100 Ghana cedis. So we are going to have a canopy walk, drafts, we are going to have 4 connects, tag of peace, eating competition, boat swing, face painting, etc. These are activities that are going to happen at the BEC Pens Down, located at the Lakeside Marina Park. 10 a.m. prompt on the 4th of July 2025. The rate is 100 Ghana cedis. For more information, you can call 0508 598 948, 0508 598 948, or you can also contact 0204 775 044, 0204 775 044. In case you've forgotten the number, you can also contact us on our social media platform at Jab Media TV, and we'll give you all the necessary information you need. And remember, Jab Media will be there. Jab Media TV will be there. Channel 1 TV will be there. Happy FM will be there. And YFM will also be there. We also have mentors, Vena, McVittis, and also Kivo. So come and have fun. If you have any, just come and let's have fun. I'll be there. My bosses will be there. Everybody will be there. Come and let's have fun. Come and then let's have fun. You know, BEC Pens Down is necessary. It's just all about coming, have fun, and then relaxing your mind whilst you prepare for the next stage of your educational life. So just have fun. You guys, most of your friends that are going to meet, it's going to be the last time you're going to meet most of them. Just come, have fun with them, and then we move forward. So BEC pens down after school split. Alright, so we are going to have Tracy Shea. Tracy Shea is going to be there. Tracy Shea is going to be there. We also have so basically Tracy Shea is going to be there. So come and then let's have fun with her. Come and let's have fun with her. And photocopy will also be there. Photocopy will also be there. So come, let's have fun. Come and let's have fun. The BEC pens down splash. Come and let's have fun. All right. So before I leave, please subscribe to our YouTube page at Jab Media TV. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Jab Media TV. You can also follow me on Instagram at i.am.amin, on Facebook at Mr. Amin, on Twitter at Mr. Amin. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week, and we'll bring you more and more on transfer news, FIFA Club World Cup, and then more on the world of sports. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week.